Well, how did I meet Mr. Ed Sheeran? Hey, I'm Daniel Lew, and I am a musician. I had this wild idea that I should go busking near the venue where he was going to be performing a concert, and it was at the Queen E. He had two concerts. One was at the Queen E, and the following night was at BC Place. It might sound absurd, but I had this vision that we would be meeting. So I went near the Queen Elizabeth Theatre almost 2.5 hours before doors opened. I set this goal, I'm going to play my heart out, and after almost, at least 2.5, maybe 3 hours, this security guard was coming out, and I thought I was gonna get kicked out from the spot, and he asked me he's like, are you going to the concert tonight? I said, no, I'm not, I'm just here to play music. He's like, would you like to? I said, yeah, that would be pretty cool. He's like, do you wanna meet Ed? And I just stopped, I'm like, huh? What do you mean? He's like, oh, we just drove by you, and he saw you, and he's like, bring that guy to the show. Almost 20 minutes before the show is when I got called backstage to meet him. Ed Sheeran and I share some things in common. This busking concept has been a big part of our careers. That was the first thing that he said to me when he came out of the dressing room. He was just like, man, good job, good on you for doing this busking thing. It's hard. He's like, I remember how hard this is. No one cares. You want people to listen, no one cares. And it feels easy for me now doing my job because everyone wants to listen to me. So we were talking about my music journey, and I had shared about how the hearing has influenced my journey. And I remember he just holds out his fist to give me a little bro. He's like, bro, gives me a little pound. He's like, my hearing ain't so good either. And then he had shared with his own hearing deficits that he has. And so it was a really serendipitous thing to be kind of talking about. Oh, lovely. Those moments when you think things are gonna go smoothly. Not expecting that. Yeah, I just don't want my ears to get blown out. So I've lost 90% of my hearing in my left ear. So I only have 10%, and it's only the bass sounds. And then my ear is ringing all the time. It's pretty good. Is it okay? I'm gonna move it to my right because it's easier for me to hear. So yeah, with my hearing issue, and this would be one of the scenarios where I would have a challenge because my monitor's on my left. So right now there's no chatter and there's no noise in here. I can hear it fine, but as soon as there's background noise, I'm not gonna be able to hear myself very well. So, simple solution. Move to the good ear. I just want to try one more thing. A couple years ago, I first saw an audition call out for new buskers for TransLink. And I remember several years ago, I'd be in transit somewhere and I would always see a busker playing, and I thought that was so cool. And they were really good performers, right? And I thought, oh, maybe I can do that someday.
Where do you want to go after we open our eyes? We can hit the beach.
I think I'd be going into my third year doing this now. Wow, time flies. What I like about playing for TransLink is everybody is on their way somewhere, to or from, and connecting musically in this environment I think is really special because no one's intending on stopping to listen. So it's when that shared moment happens, it's pretty powerful, and it's a reminder of community. Hello, sir. Long time no see. Thank you. So from not really getting that same type of concert attention in the busking environment, I think that does a few things. I'm trying to just give it my all regardless of if someone's paying attention or not.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see.
Maybe there'll be something like this, like 1 to 2 times a month. And like this is more of like a corporate event. I've appreciated having the busking program so much because I just get, otherwise I'd be waiting to perform. You know what I mean? So and instead, like I've been able to get like so much practice and performance time in that I wouldn't have otherwise got if I was waiting. The hearing loss happened spontaneously, and it's been unexplainable. Essentially, I went to sleep one day, and I had a very bad dream, and in the dream it felt like my head was being compressed by stress. It was a terrible feeling, because you know, in your dreams, sometimes it feels so real. And I woke up and my left ear was ringing, like loudly, like I just went to a rock concert and I was in front of the speaker or something. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I couldn't hear, and I was like, you know, I was like, ugh. So if I'm gonna listen to music with headphones on, I don't hear anything other than like the kick drum and like a cello or like the bass guitar. And then the tinnitus component is a separate animal. That is the ringing in the ear, that's constant. So that I'm always dealing with. Once I finished my academic journey, which I had prioritized as the highest priority in my life, like I'm gonna finish school and start this career, literally when I was graduating, like I just like felt empty. There was something missing. There was a feeling of I'm not fulfilled. When I had moved to Ontario for school, I actually didn't go there with my guitar because by this time I was kind of so dissociated from my music dreams. But by the grace of the universe, my roommate had a guitar and he was someone who was singing. And it kind of was a reminder, it was like, why am I not doing this? So I picked up the guitar again while I was in school, started to write songs again, and just sing. And then it's just, the momentum and the love for it just started to like come full force into my life again. It definitely did feel right once I had the guitar in my hands and I was singing, and yeah. All right, I'll do this top 40 music. You ready? I'm feeling good. I'm having fun now. I'm not sure if you heard of it. It's called Birds of a Feather.
Oh, yeah?
But my take on it, a little bit more slow, a little more romantic.
I want you to stay till I'm in the grave.
Being a part of a program like this and being able to contribute my music in a meaningful way every single day makes me question these beliefs that I have about like commercial success. It makes me often realize that none of that actually matters, because every single day that I get to do this, one, I'm singing my heart out because I know what it feels like to lose music, and two, it's about sharing with the world anyways. I'm like, I'm doing that every single day.
If I'm turning blue, please don't save me. Birds of a feather, we should stick together.
So I had a very profound experience sharing music at Vancouver City Centre Station. I remember this woman showed up towards the end of the song, and she's like, and right after I finished, she asked if she could stay and listen. And I said, of course you can listen, and you know, I'm here to share music. And so I played a song called Let the Angels Shine, which is a song that I wrote, and I gave it my all. I gave it everything I could, you know, and then immediately when I finished that, she just broke down into tears. And she approached me and asked if she could give me a hug, and I said, okay. So like I gave her a hug. It was a very sweet moment, and then she just like opened up to me and shared how she was on her way to the airport to fly to Calgary to visit her father, who was on his deathbed. And she said to me, your song is like everything I needed to hear right now. Like, thank you so much. And I was like speechless. I couldn't believe like how like deep this was and meaningful it was for that person in that moment. Like it was insane. It was like the intensity and the emotion that is felt at these brief encounters as we're passing by, like in this whole transit system. It was like it's pretty wild.
Oh. Say you don't see it, your mind's polluted.
Destiny, my recent album, released on June 25th, 2024. Sponsored by Creative BC, featuring the talents of several Asian Canadian artists, including me.
This one song was resonating when I was busking in TransLink specifically. It's called Man in the Captain's Seat. And I didn't even have the lyrics at the time, but I remember playing this one day. I remember being in the Vancouver city center, and I was playing this drum loop and this guitar and just singing over top of it with no words, just like na 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 na. And people were like really liking it. They're coming up to me, they're tipping me, they're like, keep going, great music. And I'm like, oh, it's like not even, like I'm winging it right now. It's not even rehearsed. I'm just like trying to figure this out. So I recorded like a brief idea, and then going home later, listening back to the idea and then like really hashing it out and then figuring out what I'm gonna write about. So, you know, I'm grateful for you know, my experience in TransLink.
I put my hands together. Will you keep them safe from me? The man in the captain.